Dharmabytes is brought to you by Free Buddhist Audio, the Dharma for your life. Our work is funded entirely by donations from our generous listeners. If you would like to help us keep this free, make a contribution at freebuddhistaudio.com/donate. Thank you, and happy listening.
When Sangharakshita died, when we got the news, we did a puja at Padmaloka. And I had a sort of double experience leading that puja. On the one hand, I had the sense of somebody going, of leaving. At the end of the puja, I had a sort of image in my mind of a great bird, like a great golden eagle, flying off into space. And yet I also had the sense at Sangharakshita that Bhante was here, inside me. Both were true. He'd gone, and he hadn't gone. And it was very interesting. There was a reading I wanted to do before the puja, and I didn't know why. It was Bhante's translation of some very strange verses from a Vajrasattva sadhana called the Confounder of Hell, which has lines like, Dharma, Amao, Dharma, wondrous strange. Within the unmoving, all things come and go, yet in that moving, nothing comes and goes. I wanted to have that reading. And then I thought, that's why I wanted that reading. Both are true. He's gone and he's here. Work that out. Both are true. And the reason why he's here is because of what a brilliant teacher he was in so many ways. But in one particular aspect, his brilliance was to give us responsibility very early. He was very keen on handing on as soon as possible. Leave and let people get on with things. He noticed in the very early days of the movement, he took a sabbatical in a chalet on the Cornish coast. I think he took a year off. I think it was about a year. And it was the first time he'd gone away and left order members. I wasn't around then. It was this sort of mythic year off that the order members I knew talked about, Sangharakshita's year off. And what he noticed was how well people had come on while he'd been away in taking responsibility for the classes and the centre, and new qualities had come out. And he did that throughout his life, handing over responsibility to other people. And in some ways, his death was completely seamless, because nothing had changed. He'd handed on responsibilities for conferring ordinations, for running the day-to-day running of the movement long ago. He'd handed over to, groups of people, teams of people, to the Sangha. So in that sense, there was no change. In another sense, there was a big change. I mean, for me personally, I first met Sangharakshita when I was 17. For me personally, the big change was, and I only noticed it when I went back to Adhisthana, where he's now buried, was I realised that he wasn't there. He wasn't there. It's just I used to love just going to see him. We didn't really talk. We didn't need to talk about very much. I sort of didn't have any needs, if you like. But I loved to go and see him, to take Darshan, to use the Indian idiom. Just to see my teacher and be in the presence of my teacher. I loved that. I really loved that. And that was gone. And that is not replaceable. That is not replaceable. There's no person like that I can go to and have that kind of experience, if you like. In that sense, there's a great space. Of course, in another sense, when there is a space, that does kind of get filled. It gets filled with your very positive longing to be with your teacher, and interesting things happen in that space. But so he's gone, and yet he's present.
We hope you enjoyed today's Dharmabite. Please help us keep this free. Make a contribution at freebuddhistaudio.com/donate. And thank you.